Callum Krull has little hesitation about switching savings accounts. He's willing to try online banks, but just as willing to leave them.
When they were just starting to drop the interest rate down, another bank just popped up. I think it's all about marketing.
Callum was banking with Zinger, one of Australia's so-called neobanks, but closed his account late last year. Other customers started leaving around the same time. In September last year, Zinger held $485 million in customer deposits. Less than 2 months later, that amount had almost halved to $252 million. That was after it slashed the interest rate on its savings account 3 times in 6 months. Zinger was awarded a full banking licence in late 2019. Less than a year later, it was handing it back and returned cash to customers. The neobank also missed out on a promised capital injection from a Dubai investment group.
They couldn't find a way to generate the sustainable revenue.
Fintech researcher Cynthia Chai says while Zinger had specific issues, there are lessons for all neobanks.
You offer them the high interest rate. And of course, that is the main incentives for the customers to move in. But then you will have to think about how I'm going to maintain them.
So new app release this week?
Yes, new app release.
Let's have a look at the features.
While Zinger didn't have a lending book, rival neobank 86400 does.
Strategically, it's really important. That's banking 101, to make sure that you have a balance between your savings accounts and your home lending so that you can actually make use of the deposits you take on board.
But building a loan book also comes with the requirement to hold more capital.
We had a very steady pipeline of investors and we were very confident on our capital raising. In fact, we actually did raise over $40 million in our Series B round.
Now, NAB is proposing a takeover of 86400 to merge it with its online UBank division. That would see one of Australia's newest banks swallowed up by one of its biggest. If the deal goes ahead, the 86400 name will disappear and UBank will use its technology platform.
Clearly, it's a concern when an established, fairly dominant player purchases one of the emerging neobanks, fintechs.
We're confident that this doesn't change the competitive landscape. We actually think that it really takes our proposition to a much wider group of people, which is important.
And they've put out very interesting reports already.
The competition watchdog is currently investigating the deal and will make a decision in April.
God, I think the NAB acquisition of 86400 is a bit of a test. It is a very important assessment that we're doing. It's early days and I can't preempt that process, but it will be a very intensive one.
It's not the only bank deal the regulator is looking into, and it's seeing some echoes of its current battle with the tech giants.
I think there's a tremendous parallel with what Google and Facebook have done. It does have lessons for the banking sector, and we're acutely aware of those and watching them very carefully.
It's a sector where neobanks are trying to fetch new customers, but the big banks remain dominant.
I think there is a bit of loyalty to when you grew up using one bank, when your family uses one bank.
A tug of war between the old and the new.